A very special good evening to all of you from our team, Karuna Improving Mental Health. We are going to introduce our today's special guest, Mr. Charles. He is Assistant Director at Bhumi Rio Counseling Center, Uganda, East Africa. He is doing a great job for serving humanity through mental health, for upliftment of mental health, for treatment for various mental health issues. So today's topic is stress management. So with our special guest, we will discuss, or he will give his experience about the stress, its holistic approach, and how we should manage our stress in a positive way. So, with lots of experience, we are going to learn a lot from him. So, without taking too much time, I would like to request our today's guest, Mr. Charles, for today's amazing and very useful session on stress management. So, Charles, you are welcome from India, from our team on our platform. Now it's your turn.
Thank you very much. I'm called Charles Nyama, Assistant Director at Ngumuro Counseling Center, which is located in Western Uganda. And today I'm going to share about stress and stress management to our dear listeners. Mainly here with, let me first say about the organization I'm working with. Ngumuro Counseling Center is a non-government organization, and it works hand in hand with the community, and we do our services at a free cost. Whoever manages to access our center, and we've been helping people who are struggling with mental problems. So today I'm going to see how stress comes and how one can overcome stress. Basically, hello?
You can continue with your topic.
Now, most of the people doesn't know what stress is. It's not a new word, but actually people doesn't know what exactly stress is. So I'd like to tell you what is all about the stress. Stress like a situation where a body responds to a threat or any kind of danger to a disease. Mainly, in fact, that stress in initial point, it is useful to the body because it will help us to do some other activities. For example, if you are crossing the road, maybe a car is coming in high speed, and that stressful moment, you find you are helping yourself to overcome that very danger. But now, it becomes dangerous when it goes into other stages and it becomes chronic. When stress goes into a chronic state, that means it will affect your mental health. And once your mental health is affected, that means things go wrong. Many people find it difficult to overcome stress, and they don't know even how stress comes in. Or someone will tell you, I'm having stress, but may not know what caused it, or may not know whether it is stress or anything else. but we've seen people struggling with stress, and it has affected their health totally. Stress comes in different ways. Now this time, let us look at relationships. Apparently, many people who are in relationship finds it stressful because most people don't prepare for it, and eventually they are stressed out. Some have been hanging themselves, some have been deserted their homes, some have been neglected the children because of relationship problems. Mostly we normally fall in ship without taking care of our time, taking care of what exactly we are going into. That's why we say we need counselors in this case to mentor people who are entering into shift. We've seen people marrying today and then breaking up tomorrow because they are not prepared. They are not ready for what they are in. And that's why I will call upon all counselors in the world to help people struggling with their relationship stress. If someone is moving, talking alone, because he has been stressed out by the wife or by the children, the coming in of this pandemic called Corona, people have been prepared to stay with their children at home, to stay with their wives at home, and people have been able to understand that maybe the situation is very different from the previous ones. People have monitored their behaviors, how their children will behave, how their spouses will behave, because we've been seeing children at school. We do send them at school and then we leave them for the teachers. Now this time, majority have been at home because of the pandemic, and you find most parents are very stressed out with the family. Here comes in the challenge of finances. Majority of the people are poor. The local people cannot manage even how to sustain a family of two. And with the financial challenges, you find others have even loan from banks. Others have gotten loans from these money lenders, and it has been so stressful to find someone even committing suicide. Someone tries to disappear and leave the home alone because he's stressed out. He doesn't know where to get the money to get back the loan. And even others have sold their land, so they have nothing to put on their mouth because there is nothing at home. So the financial challenges also have affected much of our communities. Then you find people who are stressed up with jobs. Maybe others doesn't want to be commanded, others doesn't want to be directed. So got stress as well at their job places. Here you find someone, maybe someone comes in late, and maybe this supervisor is very strict on the person, makes you write statements and then makes you write warning forms, and then you feel like you are stressed up, or even you don't have any time that you can spare to look after your family because you are at work. So in such challenges, people have been stressed up too badly, and the biggest challenge with this stress now, when it goes beyond someone's other mental problems, become depressed because of this. So we are saying we need to join hands in fighting stress. People have been seriously in a poor condition of failing to handle stress, because you find that for you to avoid stress, you must be able. Okay, I come again. I was saying, okay. environment also stresses. Find someone working, for example, in a factory where the atmosphere is not all that very fine. Maybe the factory is noisy. Maybe due to some excretion, the factory has some bad smell. And you find people working in that very environment and stressed out. If someone is on the way where someone has got a job, and again, the condition is stressful, and I was stressed out by the colleagues, the workmates. You do this, someone is reporting you. You do that, you are reported. Oh, others even hate you for no good reason, and then they write statements over you. Maybe you are, they may take you to be someone who doesn't deserve to be in that fountain industry. So the workmates as well gets you stressed up. The properties maybe you have, for example, you might be having your own vehicle. Maybe let's say it's in a poor mechanical condition. You find that you want to go to work, but again, the means of transport you want to use is this kind of old vehicle, let's say the old vehicles. So you are in the garage today, you want to be in the garage in the evening, you want to be in the garage in the following day, meaning the properties we own at times makes us be stressful. Take an example, maybe you're having a farm of cattle, but today they manage to pull themselves out of the fence. Maybe they go and attack your neighbor's plantations, their gardens, and then you are forced to pay back because your animal has damaged somebody's gardens. So you find that we need to have think analysis. If you say children are stressing you, and then you're the one who produced them, where do you expect them to go? And we've been seeing a number of rising street children. They abandon their homes for one reason or the other. So if I live in a parent, because of your stress condition, you decide even to stress others. When you come home, you want to settle. That's when you want to start following, and that's when you want to caution, so and so. You will see negativity in your own area, and you find that you are stressing even the people you are escape and leave you. Children might escape and leave you, or even you find that you are the one chasing them away. So people do express various kinds of stress, and unfortunately they don't know how best they can handle their stress. But I believe before we leave this session, the majority of you will have learned about from this. What are the signs of stress, for example, here in this case? Because you say stress, someone is feeling stressed, you are stressed, but how do you identify yourself that you are stressed? Or when can someone identify the other? So and so is stressed out. Look, you see someone even chewing the joints, like someone is crying. Someone is tightening up the face. Someone just doesn't want to talk. Someone doesn't want even to smile at all. Others like worrying. Others even decide to go and lose The drug addictors are also perpetrators of this, especially to the youth. That person might be stressed up, only that to identify who is stressed up. And the signs varies from one person to another. Of course, the way you perceive the situation might not be the same way as someone might perceive it in the other way around. So yeah, signs differ from one person to another, though most of the signs they do cut across. Like someone becoming angry for almost a single issue, because I know when something like triggers your heart or your thoughts, and when that has been a stressful moment, that person definitely will change the character, may talk rudely, someone may even disappear from others. You know that kind of person is stressed. In this case, I want us to look at the causes of stress, and mostly those who are living in a condition whereby people doesn't understand one another. You find that the person is in a, let's say, staying at home, maybe doesn't want you to understand how one is doing his or her own things. For example, one is conducting a business, and then you want to find out how that person is doing it. This is common to men or ladies. You are doing something besides your spouse, and then you don't want to be identified. So once you're identified, you take it to be something normal, and then you start changing from your home. When you're doing business somewhere people doesn't know, and then some information starts leaking to your spouse, and then all of a sudden the spouse is asking you, I hear you are building up a petrol station, for example. Maybe I hear you are building up a mansion somewhere in the city, and then you are like, who did this? Who linked this information to this person? So naturally, in the initial stages of starting it, you didn't inform your spouse, but suddenly it is now known. Some people at times fail to defend their information. Maybe instead of sitting down and then explaining what you are doing to your spouse, you do share it with the friends, maybe in a bar, maybe in a hotel, and then you find, for example, the real friends also comes and then meets your spouse and tell the real information you shared with them, which you thought it was crucial to you. Maybe you never wanted to share it with your spouse, and then someone gets to know. In this case, when doing things which are family related, we do normally encourage the couples to share the information, because at some point it will be known, and once it is known, in your absence, it might stress you, and then you end up breaking your family. There are other people who doesn't care no matter how life goes. In this case, some of the students, you send someone to school, to tennis, you send someone to school, and then the person is not attending classes, you send your tuition, someone may not even report back, like If after the semester the child is not reporting back to you because there is a weakness in between, you are not following the child to the school, and then maybe the student that of yours might take advantage of utilizing your resources to other things. I've been seeing others trying, others do commit suicide, others try to commit suicide because someone has chose off an institution. So this becomes a stressful moment to two parties. The student himself or herself, and then the parents. And all of a sudden, the family falls into that kind of confusion state. The man normally blames a wife to have been in connection with the child in most cases. And this time, men normally associate the child at home with the mom. In some conditions, it's true because they do share information and it is correct. But at times, there are things due to the truth and they are not in a connection with the other party. Here we need to analyze every situation, whichever it comes, before making judgments to others. People have been affected differently, mentally, physically, emotionally, and then they are left stranded on their way, simply because they don't seek for treatment. Stress can be treated in some areas where you need to be advised to counsel that we do advance. I need to beg my pardon. You do guide and you control someone in a situation like those who are addicted, let's say, to alcohol because they feel it's going to relieve the stress and in doing so they become addicted. Being addicted to sex cause other challenges ahead of that, meaning what may start as something small goes big and bigger because you have it as a single person, you share this maybe with your friend, all of a sudden you are driving to go and booze, and in boozing you meet other friends of such category, and at the end of the day you become an addict. Someone who had responsibilities, someone who had people to take care of, someone who had things to do with the job, and you end up in a group of taking alcohol or another kind of drug. We've noticed this through a number of times to the youth, and then people who are mature, people who are in their old age, they abandon their homes because they feel they can't sit at home, and they have to go and booze, and knowing that this might help them maybe to forget a previous situation, and all of a sudden family to break and children dispersed, and someone will. That's why we call upon all institutions in this nature to combine hands, and then we save our nation.
I think you have finished the topic from your side.
No.
So we can take some questions.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so thank you so much for providing your experience and knowledge on stress, its management with very beautiful examples, very relative examples through your friend circle, through your family. You have explained very well. My first question from my side is how we can understand or how we can identify that these symptoms are of stress, because everyone having some kind of stress, but when we put in a category of stress or a psychological stress, what are the signs and symptoms?
Come again. Come again.
What are the signs and symptoms to identify that some person is in a stage of stress?
That someone is in a situation of stress.
Yes, yes.
Like we've discussed before, I've told you, people do experience it differently, and since we have different emotions to anticipate, so some people, they might even keep quiet. In the very moment, some people do keep quiet and decide not to talk at all. Others decide to quarrel in whichever situation that comes. Maybe you meet someone, you are quarreling. Someone is asking you this, you are quarreling. Someone didn't do this, you are quarreling. That is also one of the signs. To others, do change the face, and then in a gloomy way, like someone ties up the face and then looks too wild, you know. Others do chew their jaws like that, like someone just chews their jaw for nothing, you know. Someone is maybe annoyed or scared. To some others, do decide to hide from the rest. Maybe it has been a group, and since one feels insecure of others, decides to disappear. And then you would come across that person unless the stress is done. But we've seen a majority of other people decide to use drugs, the cocaine, the marijuana, and then someone thinks he's treating stress. Those are some of the signs.
ऊपर चार्ज ही नहीं हो रहा है।
चार्ज ऊपर लगाई लो।
नहीं काम कर रहा है।
नहीं कर रहा।
हम्म। Our next question is, what is the role of perception and personality in stress, and how perception of a person or the personality of a person plays a role in stress and its management?
There are what?
The perception of a person or the personality of a person, how this plays a role in stress and its management. Perception and personality of a person.
Okay. Now people perceive it, since I've told you, people perceive it differently, and the way you perceive it determines the results. Since stress comes in a way that you either fly away or you stay to defend. So it depends what has come your way, because we've seen this one that when stress comes, the nervous system of the body now releases the hormones, the likes of cortisol and then adrenaline. These hormones will be responsible for either to stay and face the challenge, or you fly away from the challenge. Now, the way you perceive the situation determines. Now, for example, you have a loan from the bank. Then you perceive the situation that I think I should work hard and harder, so that I can pay this loan within this period of time. You'll be encouraged to look for jobs. You'll be encouraged to seek for help from friends. You will be encouraged to look for all means of paying the bank loan, and you clear it all. You find that it was the very stress that was talked onto your head that you have to pay the debt, and then you woke up and say, let me do this and this and pay the loan. You perceived it in a way that loan should be paid, and you did it. Now, if you perceive it in a negative way, like you feel like you cannot get the money, you have no time to look for the money, you have no resources to outsource this money, and then you decide to disappear from the community, or you decide to commit suicide. That means that negative of thinking that was initiated by stress came in, and it came in a wrong way, and when you perceive it negatively, definitely the results will be negative. When you perceive stress in a positive way, it will help you to overcome the challenge.
Another question is, what is your advice, or what you want to say to the mental health professionals who deals with stress? Because as you mentioned, if we not treat it well, it will lead to some more difficult situations like suicide or depression. So what will be your advice to the mental health professionals?
My piece of advice to people who normally think when stress comes in, they should fly away. Like I've told you, it depends on what are you escaping, what are you trying to escape. Is it something that might benefit your health, or you are escaping to leave others in a danger? In most cases, when someone is stressed out, right, it is true, you need time, you need to relax the brain. But again, you should defend the challenge. Like, you find all human beings in a way of living, we live by challenges, especially when it comes to the sex of a man. Men are normally face challenges because how to maintain yourself, how to maintain your family, you have to maintain your relatives. All those are challenging situations. In this case, when one faces a challenge, that means you should be able to withstand it. You should have that courage that you can understand the situation in whichever way it comes. However, for example, when you are attacked maybe by robbers, and then you feel your life is not secure, and you try to escape, that means you are helping your life. You should do all those things in line to help your life, and then help the life of others.
बताएं जल्दी, वो एक ही मना था, ये अलग अलग बने कपड़े। ये सही कोई
Thank you so much for providing your amazing knowledge, experience, and throw a light on stress and its management, and answering some few of questions. We have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to discuss on stress, its management, and various psychological issues. So time has limitations. So we would again invite you on some more relevant topic to discuss. And before winding up our session, if someone wants to contact you, or someone wants to ask something from you, how he or she can contact with you and your center?
I didn't get you very well.
How someone who wants to connect with you or contact with you, or know more about your center, yourself, so how he or she can connect with you?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
If anyone who wants to contact you, so how he or she can contact you or know more about you and your center? अभी रुक जाओ, थोड़ा आ रहा है.
How we can protect?
हाँ ये सही होते दोस्तों से निकाल
I beg you to pose your question again so that I can hear you very well. I'm not breaking and I need to pick that information.
I was saying that if anyone wants to contact you, how he or she can connect with you and know more about yourself and your center and your work. So how someone can contact you?
Sorry for the network. I still haven't picked the question, and I'd like to answer all the questions you might be having today.
So I think there is a net problem, so we have to wind up our session right here, and we will meet again with a very relevant and important psychological and mental health topic. So thank you so much, Mr. Charles, for providing your valuable time for today's session. Now we have to wind up our today's session, and thanking again our speaker Mr. Charles for providing their knowledge, experience and sharing amazing things about stress and its management. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we will meet again very soon with some more relevant and important topics related to psychological health. So now it's time to wind up our today's session with your permission.
I'm so humbled to be hosted here today, and I promise to be making series of this presentation with other relevant topics related to mental health. I'm Charles Ndiabanawe from Balala, Western Uganda. Ruhumuro Counseling Center is an organization where we treat a number of community members, and we do this with the help of our hearts, and we believe that God is with us, and we shall treat our people who are struggling with mental health. Please, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube. You can reach us, and you can also reach us on our website, ruhumuro-counseling-center.org. YouTube channel is Ruhumuro Counseling Center, and Facebook page is Ruhumuro Counseling Center. We are able to help you and then become good citizens.
Thank you so much. We will definitely work together for upliftment of mental health issues, not only treatment but also for prevention. So we together work for this noble cause, and anyone who wants to know more about Mr. Charles, his center, so he or she can go with the links on various social media platforms as told by Mr. Charles. So anyone who is not able to connect with him, he or she can directly message me and I will give the other details. So thank you so much for providing your time for doing great job for humanity, for treatment of people who are dealing with mental health issues. We are always with you. We are always ready to help you in this noble cause. So thank you so much for today's time and session. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.